While coronavirus relief federal aid is continuing to be negotiated in Washington, D.C., the tourism and outfitting seasons are passing. Oregon's U.S. Senator Ron Wyden this week insisted Senate leadership help the outdoor economy in Oregon and nationwide by providing funds for outfitters. Senator Ron Wyden is joining us now to discuss the status of that extended federal aid and the politics going on in Washington. Senator, thanks for being with us.
Brian, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about where that move stands, trying to get some money for those who are hit hard by coronavirus in the tourism and outfitting industries.
Brian, I think we understand that in Southern Oregon, recreation is a major economic engine, and it is an enormous multiplier because all those folks who are out hiking and getting outdoors and enjoying the treasures that we have to offer also come back in and get a craft brew and go out to supper and the like, and so it's a big multiplier. And of course, they haven't had the visitors this year that you would normally have. So what my legislation says is we don't want to wipe out the whole industry, the guides and outfitters, so let's give them a chance, for example, to do some park maintenance and protect these treasures so when we get to the other side, when we have a vaccine, they won't have gone out of business.
How would this aid be different from the federal aid that was available earlier in the year for the individual employers and those who are trying to get some loans to keep their businesses alive?
This is earmarked just for recreation, and it stems from the fact that I think the sector has been hit so hard, but I'm also very supportive of things like modifying the PPP program, the program for small businesses in Southern Oregon, stretching it out, making it more flexible, and also getting some cash assistance through some tax credits to small businesses in Southern Oregon, because often, like say you might have a small pub or something like that, you've got to replace inventory. If you don't have some cash, your business can really take a hit.
Those of us out here in Oregon have not heard good news about the negotiations going on about the next phase of coronavirus relief. What can you tell us from the inside about the negotiations that continue?
Well, I'm sitting at my desk in Washington, D.C., and unfortunately, the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, has skipped town. Now, the House passed their bill months ago. I'm the author of the enhanced unemployment assistance, the $600 per week aid. And we've got a lot of families in Oregon that if they don't have that help, they aren't going to be able to make rent, they aren't going to be able to pay groceries. And now the White House staff is, skipped town. So, I'm coming home and going to do everything I can to try to help people get by, because I think folks at home are really going to be hurting.
How optimistic are you that there may be something done in the next 6 weeks or so that can help folks before the election?
The key to watch is that there are 6 to 8 Republicans in the United States Senate. And political change hardly ever is kind of trickled down from D.C. to local communities. It's almost always bottoms up. If those 6 to 8 Republicans go to Mitch McConnell and say, for example, our folks are really hurting, Mitch, we need you to bring that bill to the floor, then we can get it done. And I'm going to do everything I can. As I say, what I've tried to do in these discussions is look for common ground. For example, I've made a point of reaching out to the Republicans. One of them said, look, when unemployment is high, we understand that you need a benefit so folks can make rent and pay groceries, but what about when unemployment goes down? So our proposal, in effect, would reflect economic conditions on the ground. Right now, unemployment is so high, you need a benefit so people can make rent and pay groceries. But when unemployment goes down, then the benefit tapers down to reflect that.
President Trump obviously recently signing those executive orders to try and address the issues that he sees as important. Do you think those are up for a legal challenge, and where do you see that going in the next 6 weeks?
Well, unfortunately, we're hearing from the governors that it is just administratively unworkable. For example, I've been making available a letter from the National Governors Association. It was signed by their Republican representative, the Democratic representative, that basically made that point. As you know, in Oregon, we've already had problems because of the outdated technology. There are a lot of folks in Southern Oregon who have called and called and called some more and haven't been able to get their unemployment assistance. The last thing we need is yet another set of administrative hurdles that the bipartisan, I want to highlight that, Democrats and Republican governors have said the Trump executive order proposal on unemployment is just basically unworkable.
Senator Ron Wyden, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Brian.